Hello and a warm welcome to all the viewers of Markets on Money Control. It's Friday and the last trading day of the week, but somehow things were not very cheerful on the last street. What led to the fall? Why are investors so cautious? All that and more you will find out on this segment. I am Mariam Faruqi and let's first take a look at the top news. North Korean foreign minister has said that his country will detonate a nuclear bomb in Pacific. Back home, SEBI has lifted trading ban on 244 entities. And Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has said that stressed assets are the biggest concern for the banking sector. These were some of the updates. Now let's get chatting with Utresh from Money Control's market team and find out how the markets have fared today. Hi Utresh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mariam.
So about the rupee, I wanted to ask you first is why is it under so much pressure?
See, it's a case of a very stronger dollar. What we saw was the US Federal Reserve, which met over September 19th and 20th, that the officials there gave a commentary that there could be a rate hike further this year. So that's led to a strengthening of the dollar, which has actually impacted the rupee here. So to answer your question, yes, that's what is leading to the weak rupee there.
Right. And coming back to markets, bad day for it.
Yes.
So what led to the fall?
I mean, it's just one of those days where everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. So essentially what has happened is a weakness in the global cues that we are speaking about, also that, and probably a weakness in the Indian market as well. That led to a carnage on Dalal Street today. 470 intraday points fall on the Sensex. Nifty also fell about 170 points intraday. Now actually I think Sensex has ended about 440 points lower. So that's not a really good sign. All kinds of key milestones have been reached. 10,000 has been reached by the Nifty. Sensex has reached 32,000. So really not very healthy cues coming in there. What has also been observed is that on the broader markets, mid-caps, that has continued its corrective phase. So that fell about 2%. And we saw PSU banks, those cracked about 3% today. Largely, one thing one needs to be highlighted is that the metal stocks, because of the downgrade in China, those stocks actually had kind of a massive fall. They're 3% lower. And I think all those factors have dragged the markets lower today. So just to sum it up, China downgrade, probably some froth in the Indian markets as well. That led to a fall here in the Indian markets here. Not to forget, one particular stock that could probably needs to be highlighted is the new listing that we saw in the Reliance Home Finance. That stock actually opened on the 5% upper circuit, and that's actually ended on that particular note there.
And about the global markets, how did they perform?
See, they are reacting to very mixed cues as well. So Europe markets, as we speak, the investors there are awaiting a certain speech by the UK Prime Minister. So there is some amount of caution seen there, yet those are trading mixed. Asia, on the other hand, what Mariam mentioned earlier regarding North Korea threatening to detonate a missile in the Pacific Ocean, that's led to some amount of weakness there. So because of that, Asian markets have actually ended on a very weak note,
So amid the gloom, there were some stocks that could still hold a strong ground. So a quick check on gainers and losers.
Very few to name as far as the gainers are concerned. So what has happened is because of the weaker rupee, we saw some amount of rather support seen in IT stocks. So stocks such as Wipro, HCL Tech, those were the top gainers on both the indices along with Coal India. On the losing side, of course, like we mentioned, metal stocks. So we had the likes of Tata Steel, Hindalco, both were on the losing side and investors were really not excited about those stocks here.
Thank you, Utresh. But before we let you go, I just wanted to ask you, are you going to watch Newton today?
Oh yes, I mean, just as we were getting into the studio, we saw the news that that movie has been nominated for Oscars. So definitely that's one of my weekend plans, Let's look forward to that.
So Utresh, good luck for Newton, and viewers, you have two more options, Bhumi and Hasina Parker. And if you want to check on news and catch up on all views and analysis, log on to moneycontrol.com.